Welcome to our blog series of interviewing some Springbig employees. Today we're interviewing Tommy from marketing. Hi Tommy, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, thanks for joining us. We have some questions to go over with you. 21 questions, nice little game. We're going to start with the first one. What is your title and describe your role within Springbig?
So my title is Senior Director of Marketing, and my role within the marketing team is to manage the day-to-day operations of the various parts of the team, including creative, SEO and blogs, campaigns, webinars, partnerships, marketing, etc.
Awesome.
Provide strategic direction to the various parts of the team.
Excellent. Awesome. Happy to have you. Little off topic. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Okay, so this is going to be a weird answer.
No answer's weird.
Okay, good. Brace yourself. So, when I was very young, I wanted to work at Subway, the sandwich shop, believe it or not.
How young?
Very young.
Okay.
We're talking like, maybe a little older than, it's probably good to admit, but maybe when I was like 7, 8, I'd go into the Subway sandwich shops. There's just something so cool about the person making my sandwich. That was the first job I remember wanting.
Okay.
Was working at a Subway sandwich shop. I have yet to achieve that, actually. The next thing was I went to a science museum, and there was somebody there that was giving a presentation for some kind of, I think they were selling something, actually, some kind of product that they were selling. And I thought that person was so cool, the way they were so passionate about what they were selling and so like descriptive, and whatever their energy was, I was very drawn to it, and I didn't know what their job was at the time, but I remember wanting to do that. So I think it was probably sales, some sort of.
So Subway and sales.
Subway and sales, yeah.
I like it. That's an S.
Yeah.
So do you have any pets? And if so, how many do you have?
I have quite a few pets.
Okay.
So my wife breeds Yorkies. So we have, at any given time, anywhere from 5 to upwards of 12 Yorkies at home.
Lots of dogs.
Lots of dogs. Yeah, and goldfish.
Okay.
We're also big fans of goldfish, so we have multiple tanks and multiple fish.
I like that.
Lots of pets.
What do you do for fun when you're not working? So when you're not at Springbig, what do? You go home, take care of dogs?
Ooh, yeah, this is gonna make me sound pretty boring. I go to the gym.
Okay.
I enjoy exercising. I enjoy dinners. I really like movies. We go to a lot of movies.
You're gonna go to the Taylor Swift movie?
Potentially, yeah.
October 13th, guys.
Shout out Taylor Swift. I also enjoy snowboarding. Obviously, living in Florida, that's
Do it often here.
yeah, kind of hard to do. But I enjoy taking trips, snowboarding, going to the beach. But to be honest, most of the time it's movies, dinner, and working out. So.
Off topic, you do seem like someone who does play paintball, but.
Really?
Yeah.
I've played
Come
a
off as a
couple of
paintballer,
times, but not super into it. Airsoft. I played a lot of airsoft, actually.
Thought that was the same thing, but glad I'm on the
Similar.
right path here. We're good. So, what have you found the most rewarding aspect working at Springbig and on the marketing team?
Ooh. Let me think about that for a moment.
Go from the fun to the heavy hitting questions right here.
Yeah, you just going right in and out of
Right into it.
The most rewarding aspect of working at Springbig has been, without a doubt, seeing friends and colleagues grow within their roles over time and grow professionally. So I've been at the company for, I don't even know, 6 years, long time since the beginning. And right out of the gate, some of the early hires that we made after myself have grown into leadership roles within the company, and seeing them grow personally and professionally and become better at their job and more passionate about the company and contributing to the company's success has been like unbelievable. That's been a really cool experience. And then specifically, one of the most rewarding parts of being a part of Springbig and the marketing team has been seeing the company grow in itself. You know, the number of clients we have, the number of consumers utilizing our software, the number of employees we have working here, going public. You know, there's been so many milestones that it's just been so rewarding to get to be a part of these things.
Awesome. Guess that kind of answers our next question too. What's your biggest professional achievement since working at Springbig?
Probably hands down getting to be a part of the company going public, you know, I think is the easiest answer. But I'd have to say, on top of that, probably some of the early achievements. Like, I remember our first 50 dispensary clients, our first 100 dispensary clients, which was so big for us at the time because we were the underdogs in an industry where at the time there was a company that had pretty big chunk of the cannabis industry as clients for loyalty marketing communications. So early on, those little achievements, moving the boulder an inch a day, that they were so meaningful that to this day I remember those achievements as if they were yesterday. But then going public is the easy answer to that.
I like it. Have you had to overcome any obstacles within the marketing team? Like marketing in general, not the team.
Sure. Email marketing. Email marketing, when it comes to open rates, click-through rates, conversion, it is tricky. And from the time I became a member of the marketing team, that's one of the first things that I personally wanted to try and address. And what we ended up doing was rotating our types of emails from promotional to informative to educational. We started rotating through so that it's not all promotional, it's not all leading to a demo form where we're going to try to sell you something. Some of it's providing something for free, something educational, something informative, something useful to dispensaries to try and increase engagement with the email campaigns. That was one obstacle that comes to mind.
Awesome. Do you remember who your first sale was?
I do. It was not a dispensary. It was a CBD shop in Miami. I don't even know if they would probably not be considered a qualified lead today. That's for sure. I spent over an hour on a call with this person. I believe it was a very low barrier sale. You know, it was like, we'll give you the first month free. It was, if you could even call it a sale, but that was the first yes I received from a prospect who then started using our software. So I actually do remember that, a CBD smoke shop out of Miami.
Awesome. Where do you see Springbig within the next year?
I see us continuing to maintain a dominant position within the loyalty marketing and communications side of the industry. So I think we'll expand the number of clients we have. I think we'll do that by continuing to provide hands down the best compliant messaging. So I think a lot of it will come down to deliverability issues with text messaging and an omni-channel marketing. So we have push notifications, we have email, we have all sorts of ways to reach consumers for dispensaries. However, text messaging being one of the primary channels of communication has become super difficult in this space. And we have some things up our sleeve, we have some things that we're working on and continuing to innovate to maintain high deliverability. So I think in a year that's going to become increasingly important to merchants as other providers fall off of text messaging. And we'll continue to provide high deliverability text message marketing as well as all these other marketing channels, right? So I think in a year we'll continue, and we have tons of new features coming out that are super exciting and I think going to make a huge difference to retailers within the cannabis industry. So I think we'll continue to grow and maintain our dominant position within the cannabis industry. I also think we'll expand into some new verticals having to do with regulated industries, perhaps alcohol, for example, tobacco, right? Some layups that also have issues sending text messages in a compliant way, maintaining high text message deliverability. I think hopefully we'll gain some traction in those verticals as well.
Awesome. So what would you say is your biggest goal for marketing for 2024? For
2024, I want over 750 leads, but I want 1,000 leads.
Okay.
Like I really want 1,000 leads.
Okay. Goals.
You know what I mean?
Understandable.
Yeah.
No pressure.
And to continue growing in all areas of marketing, of course, including webinars, social media, creative, everything.
So the next question I have for you is, how would you describe Springbig?
Oh my
Like when
gosh.
someone asks you what you do. So like for example, when someone asks me what I do, my husband loves to tell people I make weed art. So
Okay.
I don't just do that, but what do you do? How would you describe
A
Springbig?
case could be made.
It could be made. It
Yeah.
could be made. Very valid, but
What do? I help cannabis consumers get the best deal on weed they can.
excellent. So while helping cannabis consumers getting the best deal on weed that they can, what would you say your favorite Springbig feature is, and why is that your favorite feature?
Auto connects.
Okay.
That's easy for me. I think the idea, so auto connects are automated text messages. They get sent to consumers based on purchase habits, behavior, personal information they've provided. But it's very behavior based. I think it's so powerful to be able to send an automated text message to a consumer that says, thanks so much for your big purchase last week. We wanted to reward that by giving you your favorite flavor, cannabis gummy from whatever, Chiba Chews. Here's a discount on that product. Something that's highly personal and behavior based. I think that's such a cool feature and very powerful, and likely to get high conversion, get consumers coming back and shopping. So I'm a big fan of auto connects. There's a whole number of triggers and different types of messages that can be sent, and I like all of them.
Great segue for a plug also. Check out the blog series Easy Marketing Automations for a list of all the auto connects and their features. Next question, what key feature do you feel makes Springbig stand out from other companies in the industry? That's not auto connects.
Impact reports. And this is, I think, a very underutilized feature on the Springbig platform. What impact reports allow merchants to do is run a report on, let's say, a particular brand or group of brands. And they can see all sorts of information about how consumers buy that brand, or how the purchase of that brand impacts consumer behavior, which allows them to craft campaigns strategically, understand which brands they should be giving airtime to. It takes the dispensary's marketing strategy to the next level when they understand how to use it correctly. And I think it's severely underutilized. Plug for Springbig University impact reports.
Check it out.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a cannabis dispensary to help with their marketing as a professional marketer? What would you give them as advice?
Personalize it. I think the whole industry utilizes a spray and pray approach to marketing, where regardless of whether they're sending text message campaigns, email campaigns, push notifications, it's very event based, it's very deal based, it's very discount based, and I know that that's the norm. So dispensaries are competing with other dispensaries when it comes to discounting, so it's kind of become the norm. But I believe that the way to set yourself apart from other dispensaries and effectively market in this industry is to set up a baseline layer of automation, auto connects. These personal, highly personalized, behavioral-based messages that go out to consumers based on what they buy, when they buy, how they shop, what their interests are, and then layer on top of that automation a very effective loyalty program that is not simple. Or it can be simple, but it's not just thrown together. Something that considers their average visitor frequency, average transaction value, percent, how many tourists are in the area versus locals. So a well put together loyalty program, and then on top of the automation and effective loyalty program, campaigns that go out to, everybody, that's event driven or discount driven, but less frequent, not every day.
So leveraging campaigns, awesome. So knowing that the cannabis industry faces a lot of competition, how do you think dispensaries could leverage Springbig to help increase their sales?
Get as many people using a mobile app as possible. That's something I haven't mentioned yet, and I think that's something that can be highly effective. Obviously, people who download apps are way more likely to continue shopping at that business. It opens up the door to utilize push notifications as well as text messages, as well as emails. So it opens up another communication channel between you and the consumer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. How does your team motivate you?
Just by being awesome, I think motivation is derived from, like for me, from enjoying being where I'm at, you know? And what I mean by that is like coming into work every day, having a good time, you know? And I think that leads to a lot of motivation and a very friendly, fun atmosphere where you want to accomplish as much as possible.
I like that. Awesome. Thank you. How can dispensaries use social media to increase their sales?
I'm going to defer to the wonderful Fran on this one, who's a member of our market. I'm kidding. Fran does our social media for the team. So I think social media can be used to, provide content that consumers want to see. Not just discounts, not just deals, not just things trying to drive them into the store and buy things, but content they can relate with, content they enjoy, right? That's the first thing. And then it can be utilized once you have engagement, you have an audience, you can use social media to drive signups into a communications program, to drive them into the store, a loyalty program, to keep them coming back to the store once they're there. Providing engaging content consumers want to see, educational, informative, just awesome content in general that they can relate with, and then using that attention and engagement from those posts to bring people in through a communications program.
Awesome. Thank you for that one. What's your favorite auto connect?
Oh man.
And why?
Winback, because it provides a safety net for businesses to set up an automation and forget about it. That's going to save them so much money, right? So Winback works by if someone doesn't show up after X number of days, it automatically sends them a text message with a personalized offer for them based on what they buy, when they buy, whatever, and brings them back into the store, saves their business.
Awesome. With cannabis regulations, what have you seen change that has had the biggest impact on cannabis marketing?
Text messaging regulations. Some markets have regulations in place that stunt advertising and marketing from the beginning. In some states, you cannot entice people to buy pot, as an example, right? And in that scenario, the inability to use coupons or things like that make marketing very difficult from the jump. But outside of that, text messaging regulations have made communication so difficult between dispensaries, brands, and their consumers. Even regulations on how cannabis businesses can advertise through social media, through Google, right? Just the marketing and advertising regulations in general are very difficult. And then some of the newer text message filtering and 10DLC and some of the newer text messaging regulations that have come out recently have made that particular channel of communication extremely difficult, which is why we spend so much time and resources on a team dedicated to finding the legal compliant loopholes and maintain high deliverability in a way that's for the merchant safe for us.
Perfect. What advice do you have for other cannabis marketers?
I would say, similar to what I have already said, provide more informative educational content that's not necessarily geared toward a sale, towards conversion, sign up, not data gating everything, but putting content out there that is useful for people within the industry, especially the prospects they're after, or consumers if it's a B2C business, and provide that content free, with no strings attached. Right, and establish credibility, become a subject matter expert, become a source of engaging content, and then once an engaged audience is built, go for conversion and start bringing people in.
So build their trust.
Yeah, build trust.
Build trust.
Exactly.
I like that. A little summarization in there, right?
Yeah, it's a good summarization.
Thank you. So last question for you, and thank you for your time. Has there been anybody in your professional career that has mentored you? If so, who was it, and what advice was the best advice that they have given you?
First of all, Jeff, the CEO of this company, especially early on, right, when there was like 5 of us in a small office. I learned so much to do with, honestly, loyalty marketing in general, right? Because Jeff has a loyalty marketing background, building loyalty programs for big box retailers and financial institutions. And I learned very early on how to actually set up a loyalty program, which was so cool for me, because it's not just selling a product, but I got to actually learn loyalty marketing and what makes a good loyalty program, what variables to consider as a business when setting up a loyalty program, which made it easy to believe in what we were doing and what we were selling. So from an overall like loyalty marketing sales standpoint, Jeff, without a doubt. There's been so many mentors along the way, from people we've hired after the fact. Michaela, our head of sales, has been a huge mentor. She's a rock star when it comes to sales. I've learned a lot from her. Nat, who's VP of marketing, she's also a rock star, very good at what she does, so creative, right? She'll look at something that I've been thinking about for like 2 hours, scratch my head on, coming up with like ridiculous solutions to, and it's like, oh, you do A, B, and C, and don't you think? And when I hear her say it, I'll be like, obviously,
Of course, I was thinking that the whole time.
All sorts of people, but I'll give the most credit to Jeff.
Awesome. And is there any advice that any of them have given you?
Specific advice? Oh my gosh. It was something about how, like, if I feel like I'm trying to sell or convince someone to use the software, I'm doing it wrong.
Okay.
All right, so if I'm trying to sell the software, and what I mean by sell the software is like convince someone that they should be using it, it's a certain feeling, that I'm doing it wrong. The point is to understand the needs of the person you're talking to and understand what it is that we do, what we can do, what we can't. And if there's a fit, pursue it. And if there's not, move on, and don't waste too much time trying to convince someone to use whatever product it is that I'm offering if they don't have a sincere need for it, right? Because they're not going to be good clients anyway. All right.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
It's very good.